Good morning, everybody. It's Jenny Norris coming to you live for Home Staging Talk Show Live. So today is Wednesday, so I'm happy to be with you all. So again, coming to you live from beautiful Colorado, and this is the Home Staging Talk Show Live, Home Staging Talk, where you can join the conversation. It's brought to you by the International Association of Home Staging Professionals. So get myself set back down here. Perfect. Okay. So thank you, everybody, for those of you that are tuning in. Good morning, Krista. Good to see you. So again, coming to you live from the Home Staging Talk Show Live page. So hopefully you guys will find me here. And if Lindsay and Krista, if you guys can post this to the other pages, that'd be great, including my personal page. That way people will find us, will be good. Got a good show for you today. I'm excited. I've got Coaster Furniture, who is going to be joining us and talking about their programs. And also Trish and Young Kim will be joining us and talking about perception versus reality, what it really takes to run a staging project. And those of you that know Trish and Young, they have a fabulous business serving the DC area and well-oiled machine. We're going to talk about some of what they have put in place, but the reality of running a large project or staging project versus what the public sees or perceives to be true as far as running a business. So I'm going to wait to see if get some more of you guys on here. So I think we need to share this to my page. So let's go ahead and grab that and do that. I don't even see myself on here yet. So I know there's always like a 10-second delay with with Facebook Live. So let's see here. I want to make sure that we are sharing this everywhere. So post it into my personal page if you guys can. It's funny, I don't even see it on my talk show page. Where am I? Okay. So good. All right. Hi, Yolanda. Okay, good. Now people are finding us, which is great. Okay, good. So share it to, I'm going to share it to my page just really fast. And unless one of you guys already did that. Hey, Catherine. Okay, people are finding us. Hello, hello. Share. So good morning, everybody. So thank you for finding me here. We, of course, are going to be doing this through this page because we are looking at the reach and the way the algorithm works with Facebook. It's better to do it through the page at this point with the number of followers that we have in order to be able to better track the people that we're reaching with our show. So that's the goal. We are live. So I'm going to share this to my personal page too. Okay, good. Well, good morning, everybody. So thank you for finding me here, Home Staging Talk Show Live. Just take a few minutes for people to see that we are live and want to connect with us. And so, of course, Home Staging Talk Show is an ongoing conversation. Hey, Joseph, with the home staging community. And the goal is to just create an awareness about our industry, help support people who are in the industry, help also to educate people who want to be part of the industry, whether they want to have a staging business or partner with stagers for business. And today we have Coaster Fine Furniture will be joining us as a guest, Mike Brechtel. So I'm excited to talk with him and have you guys hear what he has to say. And then also Trish and Young Kim are going to be joining us, and they have a fabulous business in the Washington, D.C. area. You know, they started just like a lot of us do, and they've just grown and grown and grown. And our topic, of course, is perception versus reality, what it really takes to run a staging project and from start to finish. Because oftentimes what we see on television when we have stager shows and so forth is just a little teeny snippet, you know, somebody walking out of a truck with furniture, or maybe somebody putting a karate chopping a pillow on a sofa. And it just doesn't really show the full work that goes in from securing the project to actually staging it. So I'm excited to have them on as well. And just a couple of announcements. So we are very close to releasing the conference page for 2019. Just working on a little bit of details as far as logistics on how that's working. I've got a glare in my face, and that's better. And so look for that. So those of you that came to the conference in Charlotte, you'll have the first opportunity to buy tickets. And of course, you have your special code that we will remind you about. We'll send out an email. And you'll have until the end of the month to be able to purchase your ticket to Nashville. So we are super excited for how it's all coming together in Nashville. We're going to have a great time. And those of you that were in Charlotte, you know that we put on a great event. So our goal is to equate that, if not surpass it. We'll be putting out the call for speakers probably in December. So those of you that would like to be part of our conference and be able to share, you can submit your information in December, and then we'll start releasing the lineup and so forth for our conference. I'm very excited about that. I also had the survey that I'd sent out for those of you that do purchase inventory. And I know that Andrea Brand, you messaged me or sent me some information, so I appreciate that. So any of you that have purchasing power and you're going to markets or you're ordering things from different vendors, if you would be kind enough to just message me how much you actually invest annually and what you're purchasing. So is it just furniture? Are you getting accessories, artwork? So let me know the categories you're purchasing and how much you invested in 2018, and then what you expect to invest in 2019. And then what I'm doing is taking those numbers, collecting those together, and then sharing those with our vendors and also those that want to be part of the industry as far as supporting stagers, because a lot of the companies still don't really get what we do. So again, you can message me here on Facebook. You could also send me an email, and my email, of course, would be Jennie, JENNIE, @IAHSP.com. And I would greatly appreciate any of you that are able to do that. I did send out a survey to those of you that came to the advanced stager training class in Charlotte. So I haven't checked recently to see how many have responded. So those of you that have, I appreciate it. Those that have not, if you would be so kind to do that, that would really be helpful. And it's going to benefit everybody. So it's not just, the people that's turned the information in. So the goal is to help those that want to be partner with their industry understand our purchasing power, and Diamond Sofa involved. Okay, so Kevin, send that to Krista, send that name to her so we can get them added on our target list. So I'm very excited that I will be going to the Vegas market. Our team will be there talking to different vendors. There's supposed to be a panel discussion that I've been asked to be on. So Joseph, I know you're watching. So as soon as you have the date for me, let me know, because I have my travel plans, but I have not booked my flight yet, I don't think. I know I haven't booked my flight yet. So I need to get that. I need to know when I need to come in. So anyhow, but Vegas market will be great. And that'll be the first go round of us really approaching some of these companies. And I'd love to have this data to share with them. So the sooner you can get me that purchasing information, that would be really, really appreciated and help us to better speak to these vendors. So other announcements, the live auction, those of you that did purchase things from the live auction, if you have any questions about what you purchased, need to be able to get in touch with the person that you won items from, let me know. I have notified all the people that donated who did win their prizes. And so I know there's a little bit of confusion with a couple of them, but we've gotten it all sorted out, which is great. So Worldwide Staging Service Week projects for 2018, checks are going to start going out in the mail this week. I'll get those out to the chapters. I just want to make sure I have the right people to send the money to. So I'll be checking in on that. And then all the chapters that participated for 2018 will be getting funds to help support those projects. And I can't wait to see the finished product on all of those. And Worldwide Staging Service Week, for those of you that are tuning in and don't know what that is our charity arm, if you will, our events that we do annually right around 9/11 typically, but it can go later in the year. Some of the chapters even done it after the first of the year, but just something that our members of the International Association do to contribute back to their communities. And the projects are really wonderful. So it's usually rehabbing, overhauling a property, painting, maybe adding some furniture and decor, new flooring. It could be more extensive than that. There have been chapters that have really gotten into helping actually remodel properties. So collectively, since 2005, IHOSP has contributed over $5 million in donations, creative time, and resources to Worldwide Staging Service Week. And so it is a non-profit arm. The IHOSP Foundation is a non-profit arm of the association, and iHosp Foundation supports Worldwide Staging Service Week projects monetarily. So that is the reason we have the foundation and the fundraisers. So this coming year, if you live in an area where we have a chapter, maybe you're a member of iHosp and you don't have a chapter, you can still do a service project. It could be working at a food bank, just volunteering somewhere, but giving back to our communities is really of value. And it always makes, I know those of you that have participated in projects, you always feel so good afterwards. You see the reaction of the person whose life you've bettered in some manner, and sometimes they cry and sometimes they're just overwhelmed. But it really is wonderful to be part of these types of projects. So anyway, so that money will be going out to those chapters, and I'm excited for that. Those of you that are watching, again, thank you for joining. And if you would hit the share button on your phone or your computer, wherever you're tuning in to us, hit the share button, and that way allows us to reach as many people as possible. And as Joseph coined the phrase, I love this phrase, sharing is caring. So please share, because we appreciate that. All right, that is pretty much it for my announcements. I don't think I forgot anything, but I'm excited to bring our guests on. So first up, we're going to have Mike Brechtel. So, and who's this little person here with the one by their face? Is that, oh, it's Mike. Okay, good. Okay, Mike, I see that you're on. Now I have to find you. Oops. Okay. Okay, let's see here. God, these pictures are so little. I'm supposed to tap on his little teeny circle. I don't see you, Mike. So I can see that Chris is watching, and I see several other people. So Young, you guys don't have a little camera by your head. So there's usually like a little green video camera image, and so it's not on there, which tells me that there's something with your settings. I may not be able to bring you on. So Mike, let's see, who's this person? Oops. Nope, now you just disappeared on me. Okay, now you're back. Okay, who's this? Oh, that's Kevin. Okay, that's not who I want. Hi, Kevin. So Mike, type something, make a comment actually on the feed here. So Mike, if you make a comment there, then I can usually bring you on that way. So Mike is vice president with Coaster Furniture, and we are going to get him on. So Mike, if you're watching on the page, actually go to the comment section on your phone if you can, and just type a comment like, I'm here, or I see you. And I know, Young, you did that. So let me see here. Kevin Young. So, okay, yeah, so here's Young. So you do have a camera by your head here, which is good. Okay, good. Awesome. Okay. All righty, so waiting for Mike to make a comment. Mike Brechtel. So Coaster was one of our premier platinum sponsors at our conference this year, which was really great. And super appreciated your support. So Coaster has wonderful furniture. We use it a lot in our stagings here in Denver. So I set up a warehouse here, and I have a partner that buys all the furniture. So they pretty much, run that thing, but I turn them on to Coaster. And so we use a lot of their line in staging. So it looks fabulous, is, contemporary, so it's on trend, but they have some pieces that are dressier and some that are more, streamlined, if that's the look you like. Okay, is that you? Okay, let's see here, Mike. Bring Mike on camera. All right, so I'm going to send you a little notice, Mike, and you should just need to agree to come on camera, and then it should connect us. So, and I love their line. It's just really beautiful. So the Property Brothers, or the Scott Brothers, I should say, were our keynote speakers at our conference. I know a lot of you saw their fabulous pictures. It's connecting. Here you are. Hello.
Hey, good morning.
And of course, Mike was at the show, walking around. So I remember meeting you there.
So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So let people know who you are.
My name is Mike Brechtel. I am Vice President of Central Region for Coaster. I cover about 22 states and basically east of the Rockies, west of the Mississippi River. We have several different warehouses throughout the country. We see staging market as an emerging market, a big growth area for us. So those who participated, we came from High Point and we're there maybe 3 or 4 nights from Thursday to Sunday. We're excited about the opportunity to partner with the organization and also provide services that really outside the box for what we normally do. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. And we again want to say with you on the camera, we appreciate your support of our association and our members.
Appreciate patience for allowing me to figure it out.
Yeah. So did you have fun at the conference?
Yes, yes. Very relaxed setting, very relaxed atmosphere. Those who wanted to meet met, and those who didn't basically stopped by our booth there. At first, I've never seen line dancing go on at a show, so well, present that's a first. I mean, but hey, whatever it takes, right?
Well, there'll probably be more of that in Nashville because that's what they do there. So we might have someone giving us instructions, like a caller. That'd be fun. Yeah, we like to have fun at our conferences, and we'll plan. The expo will be bigger this coming year, but we want to make sure to include all of our premier platinum sponsors. We're going to change some of the names around so it's not such a mouthful. But so Coaster, how long have they been in business?
Since 1972.
Wow. And
we've been in business since 1972, and we distribute throughout the U.S. and Mexico. We have basically 9 different warehouses or distribution centers. We have 3 in California, 1 in Northern California, 2 in Southern California. We are in Miami, Dallas, Chicago, New Jersey, Atlanta also. So we're geographically friendly to stagers and small market in terms of if you want one item. Normally, we're no more than 2 states away, so that usually works.
And then you and I, before we went live today, we were talking even about Canada. So let's talk about how you get product there.
What we we ship throughout North America. So what we do for Mexico and Canada, we deal with freight forwarders on the border, bring things to the border for pickup. So like for Mexico, for the Caribbean and for like Toronto, Vancouver, places like that, we would ship Toronto. Basically from New Jersey, we would ship Vancouver from our Northern California. One thing I want to make clear, Coaster has in their assortment close to probably 4,500 items that are in most cases in all of our warehouses. So it is, you do have the advantage of having a whole catalog in each of our warehouse.
As I was saying earlier, the product, I love the Coaster product. So we use it all the time for staging. I was at a staging late last night. I had 3 SUVs delivering. I brought accessories. So I brought something like 12 or 13 bins full of items. But I know that the dining set is from Coaster, the living room set's from Coaster. So it'll be a great project. It's going to look beautiful. It's over like a $1.4 million property. So I love that the product can go into high end. It can go into average house. I mean, because it's the items. They look really great. I mean, they may not, when you sit on them, they're not, I don't think that they're made for like long-term living, but I think for staging, they're fabulous. Then I love the Scott Brothers line. We've used that a lot too. And who else do you have? Who else do you carry in your lineup?
Well, I mean, Scott Living is basically our vendor partnership with. I mean, we go under our own name. Now, just to recently, we had DOH, Donny Osmond
Right.
Home, for a number of years, and what we've done, uh, that partnership ended mutually. What we've done is take those items and put them back in our coaster name. You know, coaster started with price point driven items to accommodate bedroom, youth, case goods, dining, home office, and accessories. And we still do that. One of the things I want to make clear is we're in basically every or close to many of the furniture stores throughout the country, also overseas, also e-commerce. So when I say we have 4,500 to 5,000 items in our warehouse, I say that on the premise that we accommodate so many mom and pop furniture stores, so many one door furniture stores. We go big. I mean, we do business with your top 100. Where we see an opportunity in our business is we have the inventory, we have the knowledge to ship one piece repeatedly because we do that for e-com. Where we see the staging market is, and correct me if I'm wrong, not only do stagers stage for the purchase of a home, but in many cases, they're staging the house for an all-inclusive purchase.
Absolutely.
Meaning, yes, I want the house, but I want the furniture in it. So given our variety of furniture we have, we can accommodate different price points of homes, not only furniture.
Right. And that's really important because there's some stagers will, they may have a lot of price points that are the median or the average. And of course, at our conference, we gave a luxury designation out. So you have to have product that's appropriate for luxury. I know there's a lot of stagers that do sell the whole house with the staging. It could be like a second home area where people are, buyers come in and they're like, I love how it looks. I want everything in it. And I've had that happen a couple times here in the Denver market. So I just think the product is really beautiful. So 1972, I just want to go back to that year. That was a good year. That was actually the year that home staging was created. I don't know if you knew that. So that was actually,
yeah. I mean, this partnership's working out terrific.
Yeah.
From 1972.
Yeah, 1972. Yeah, so 46 years ago. So they've been around a long time. So do you have anything? Do you have anything new that's coming out in 2019 that you can talk about?
We always introduce new product, more so at Vegas markets because of the timing of the markets in January and basically late July, August. So we do most of our introductions at the Vegas show to get a feel for what's going on in the year. We always have new product introductions in many categories within not only Coaster, but within Scott Living too. So, and we will have new introductions in master bedroom. We will have new introduction in dining. Those are two basic components. Upholstery, we will also have some new introductions. So we will have introductions. It will be strategically introduced for the time of the show.
That's exciting. I can't wait to see. So I know like the dining room set that we're putting in this property, it's a kind of a lighter wood and it has the upholstered chairs. And I don't think it's available anymore. So my partner warehouse people, they bought one and I put it in a $4.6 million house and then it came back. But I said, don't get this out because they rent to other people too. I said, don't send this out to anybody else. I've been holding on to it, but I love that set. And one of my other clients just bought an upholstered headboard. It's kind of that white tufted kind of curved, just beautiful.
Sure.
I mean, she's super happy with it. So, so I put the forms up on a link on this page here, but how do people set up an account and what are, I don't know if Krista, you can quickly put up there what the terms are for our members, what the special arrangements we have. So let's talk about how people can get started.
Okay. The easiest thing to do is coastofurniture.com, go to contact us. There's a new customer questionnaire. What we do is we handle the staging industry a little differently. Whereas there's minimums for brick and mortar stores and opening orders, we understand that there is a need, not everybody can meet our minimums on terms of product. So the way we have it worked out with your organization is the minimum is $100 freight. You have to order product enough for $100 in freight. Usually that gets pretty close to the minimum requirement we have. But instead of sticker shock, you need to order this much, it's the minimum that has to be met is $100 freight.
And so that would be roughly, what do you think, like $1,200 or?
In that neighborhood, usually around $1,200 to $1,500. I mean, depending on whether you're ordering a master bedroom set or you're ordering 5 side tables and a hall tree or something like that, based on the cube.
So do you ship only to like a warehouse, or will you ship to residential?
No, we do not. We do residential if it's UPSable product only. We do not if it's common carrier, by their standards, they cannot ship residential. It has to have a loading dock. But if it's a UPSable product, we can ship UPS.
So what would be UPSable? Some of the smaller, like a nightstand?
And plenty of it's flat pack items. I mean, side tables, bar stools, things like that. Most chairs that require assembly, that would be pretty much UPS. When you get into upholstered chairs and they're fully assembled, it may be UPS oversized or it may be common carrier.
So those you watching, you may not have a warehouse, but you may have, like sometimes they'll ship to a storage facility. They'll accept shipments. There's also other places around town, like I found, like for the headboard. So I found a guy in my area in Inglewood that he buys your product. So, and he specializes in like the headboards and the beds and so forth. So I just had the headboard shipped to him, and that's where it was delivered from that location. So, stagers that are watching, you may not have a big warehouse yet or ever. I don't have a warehouse that I personally, run, but there's ways you can figure out how to get the product if it has to be shipped to a commercial location versus residential. So that should not be a reason for you not to purchase. And then even those of you that are thinking, well, I may not even have $1,200 to purchase initially, why don't you piggyback with somebody else, combine your orders, right? Even through the chapter, and then have the items delivered, and then you can parcel them out from there. So there's always ways to figure it out when you kind of think outside the box. And again, that budget, $1,200, you think, well, what could I get for that? Because again, you're not paying retail, you're paying wholesale. And there's quite a big variance with that. So you can get quite a lot of stuff for not a lot of money, and then be able to put it in the properties and make your investment back pretty quickly based on what you charge for the inventory. So the website again is coaster.com.
Coasterfurniture.com is the website. Also, we have coastercompany.com, but for the initial setup, you would go to coasterfurniture.com. That's more of the informative portion of that website.
That's great. And so again, those you watching, you'll need to provide your resale or your wholesale license in order to set up an account, your business information, EIN, or whatever, however you do your taxes. And so you'll have to fill out an application to qualify to purchase.
Right. One other thing, we have a terrific an absolutely terrific customer service in all facilities. But we do have a national call center in Dallas, okay, and they work over all facets of time. So California, they are there at 8 o'clock at night or at 7 o'clock at night to cover the West Coast. East Coast, they're there early in the morning. We have a staff of probably 15 to 20 uh, on site there. So they can, if there's any questions, I mean, there's all the contact information on the website that you can call if you have any type questions. Call and ask. I mean, don't think just because it's not on there, just because it's not spelled out. Please take the time if you have a question. We have a full staff. That is what they do throughout the day. They field questions and they answer questions.
Which is really important because customer service, being able to get answers right away is important. And then I know that your turnaround from the time you place a delivery, from the time it arrives, is also very quick, based, versus other companies that could take weeks to ship. As long as it's in stock, you could place an order on Monday and they could possibly deliver it. Would they have it by the end of the week or the following week, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, our turnaround time out of our facility, not to the end user, but out of our facility is usually within 72 hours.
So once
So,
they get the order from the facility, then it just depends on where you're located as
well,
far as shipping.
we're shipping from the closest
Okay.
facility. Like I said, we're usually at least 2 to 3 states from the end user out of any of our warehouses.
Yeah, I think we can get our product either from Dallas or Southern California. So I think a lot of times it's
But
Southern.
you're taking from both. You're taking from both.
Yeah. And I know that sometimes the snow here going up over the mountains can be kind of tough. Well, good. So does anybody who's watching, anybody have questions for Mike? Just go ahead and type it in. And do you have any other last things you want to share with us? Anything we need to know?
I mean, we're engaged. We're here. Uh, you know, we believe in this market. We believe it to be an emerging market. I'm glad Steve took the leadership to partner up with this because we do see this as a growth area that we have been in business, but we've probably sold to stagers individually, but not collectively, not with an organization, not in a collective manner where we're communicating like this. So, like I said, I mean, I thought Charlotte was very impressive. The breadth of vendors who were there, uh, and also the amount of people who were there in this industry. I mean, it's not until you get there until you realize, oh wow, this is a pretty big deal. I mean, and then to have the brothers come on Friday night,
Yeah.
that was pretty neat. So they were in our showroom for a book signing the Sunday before that. So I won't keep everybody. I will say that thank you for having me first and foremost.
Sure.
I appreciate the opportunity. Anytime we can do something in this area to market Coaster and market our product, but lastly, make sure your users are getting our product and information in a collective manner. We're glad to pick up the phone, get on YouTube, do whatever. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, thank you for being with us. And so again, coasterfurniture.com. Chris has been putting the information up. So thank you, Mike, for being with us. And are you going to be in Vegas in January? Will you be there?
We'll be 9 to 10 days in Vegas. Yeah.
That's a long time. So we'll see you there. I know there'll be a bunch of us walking around, and but we'll make a point of stopping in and saying hello for sure.
One last thing, for those in the southeast that may be on here, Coaster also shows in Tupelo. So
Oh.
we also attend Tupelo Furniture Market.
Isn't that
For
where
those
Elvis
in
was
the,
from?
I'm sorry?
Was Elvis from, was that where he's from? Tupelo?
This is originally from Tupelo, yes.
It's good.
So,
Cool. That little connection. You got the Vegas and the Tupelo. Yes, that's, I didn't know that. That's good to know. So we have a lot of people in the southeast. So that's good. Awesome. All right.
so
Well,
we will,
good. So we'll see you in Vegas in January, and probably in High Point in April. We'll make the circuit, but then hopefully, you'll be coming to Nashville. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So, all right. Well, thanks, Mike, for being with us. Everybody, say goodbye to Mike. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks for joining.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So that was great. So, who knew Tupelo, Mississippi? That's great. There's that connection with Viva Las Vegas, right? And then Elvis from Tupelo. So that was great information. Those of you that are watching, you may not even, have a business where you're like, you need to acquire a lot of inventory, but you may have clients that want to purchase. And they're working really great arrangements with us. I mean, there's, you want to go take a look at their lines, and even for your own homes to be able to update, because their prices are really, really good. And then you can actually make the margin and still, give your clients a great price on an item where they don't feel like they're paying out an outrageous amount of money for something that looks really great, but you're still making a lot of money on the margin. So take a look at them. Definitely go set up an account. If you have any questions on that, you can email us, or if it's something related to something on their site, again, their customer service people would be happy to help you. So, all right, excited now to bring on Trish and Young. So there's Young right here, so I can bring him on. Okay, so I've just joined me on camera. So hopefully you got a little request, Young, to join in. All you do is just accept it, and then it'll connect us. So there you are.
Oh, hi.
It's kind of hard for both of us to get in the screen, but
I got both of you. I'm so excited.
Oh,
hello.
So
Yeah.
so tell everybody who you are.
we Young and Trish came from Centerville, Virginia. We live in Centerville, and our warehouse is in Chantilly, Virginia, which is about 7 miles from our house. So that is about 25 miles west of Washington, D.C. So we stage in Northern Virginia, some parts of Maryland and D.C. And we are coming live from Little Beach in Sarasota, Florida right now.
Where it's called Little Beach.
Lido, Little
Oh,
Beach.
Lido.
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 Lido, yes.
Da-da-da-da-da, like that
Yeah,
song.
there you go. That's it.
I won't sing anymore, but well, thanks. It's so great to have you guys on, and thank you for joining us, because I know you're on vacation. Do you head home today?
Yes, we are going home tonight.
Tonight. So did you go straight there from the conference?
No, we've done another trip since the conference, and this is our third trip. Every weekend for the past 3 weekends, we've been out of the loop.
Yeah, we were at a Bible conference in Orlando last weekend, so we decided to spend a few more days in
Yeah.
Florida.
Oh, awesome.
We're already
Well, it's a
here.
great time of year to be there. So
Yeah.
It is beautiful here.
So I wanted to have you guys on because you guys have grown a business. You've been in business 13, 14 years. How many years?
13 years.
13 years. So, and I
Yeah.
remember when you guys got started, was like a lot of people, consultations, you start doing staging, and then you have an opportunity to stage a property, maybe a vacant. And so you used things from your own house, and through the years, they've done presentations at conference where they've shown how their business has grown and how they use things from their own home and even their home to store things. So they had the chair room with the chairs to the ceiling. And
Yes.
I remember the picture, I'll never forget this one, where you guys had your own personal mattress on the floor because your own personal bed had gone into a house. And, I love it, and you've grown organically and not had any, big debt to grow your company. So, so they've been in business 13 years, and let's talk about what does your business look like right now? What's the size, number of employees, and so forth?
Yeah. So yeah, we've been in business for 13 years, and we are operating out of a 21,000 square foot warehouse in Chantilly. which is a really blessing to have that kind of space. We didn't get started there. We didn't start there, but we started from a 4,400 square foot warehouse, and then we moved into the next bigger one, and then eventually consolidated many different spaces. So we have a contiguous space of 21,000 square foot, and we have 19 team members, including us. And we started with Trish and me. We are the sole the members of the company, and now 19 team members. We have grown enough to be able to offer a retirement program to all of our qualified employees, and we have a 100% participation, and we are really blessed to be able to offer something like that. So yeah, first year we staged about 30 properties, and this year we staged 254 as of last Sunday, and have 87 homes staged. Yikes! So
That's a lot of inventory.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, exactly. So
unfortunately,
I
yes.
would say about 60 of those properties are vacant properties. So a lot of stuff is out there.
Well, it's funny because I think you posted something about how you thought you were sort of done with the purchasing for the year, and then all of a sudden you're like, we don't have we don't have anything. We got to get more stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, please, please, but when we are at the advanced stager training conference right after the conference, and it seems like regardless of which level of business you're at, if you're productive, if your business is productive, then everybody is going through the same spell, which is a blessing, really.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
It is.
it's a good time to give Coaster a plug here, because we use them and have used them for probably 6 years for our inventory. Not exclusively, but definitely they're the basis. And we have sold whole houses full of Coaster furniture. And so I just want to say they've been great for us. Also, one way we get delivery is we have a third-party guy that will bring things to us. It's another way to get your products to you,
Right.
if you need that.
Yeah, which is really just smart. Yeah, so I'm doing that here with an order because I don't have a warehouse by my house or anything like that. So they're taking it to a third party. Then I have someone picking it up and distributing it where I need it to go. So that's a good tip. So what I wanted to talk about, the topic today is the perception versus reality of running a project. And I know you guys have heard this through the years. You go somewhere, somebody finds out you're a home stager, and they say, "Oh my gosh, what you look like so much fun, so fun." And it's rewarding, but it's a lot of work. And the public in general doesn't really see the process. So their perception is that I guess the furniture just magically shows up and looks fabulous, and we just like karate chop a pillow or just kind of move something over here, and voila, it's done. But the reality is there's a lot of steps that go in to getting to that point where you're actually, just able to kind of finesse. So let's talk about, the reality of when you guys are running a project. And I've talked to you guys in the past about this, your process for your team members and so forth. But just kind of walk us through from the time that the phone call comes in for a client, and let's work on a vacant property. So what process do you go through in order to make that happen?
Yeah, this morning at breakfast, we are actually going through and writing down the steps, and we were thinking, no wonder we need 19 team members. So, whether it is a phone call or email from repeat realtors or builders or brand new builders or realtors, these connections come to our office first. And we talk to them and try to build an initial relationship if it is a brand new people. And then the consultation is scheduled from our office. So team leaders are not in the consultation part of it in terms of the schedule. And then we have 4 team leaders, including Trish, and then they go out and do the consultation.
And so when we go to this is vacant property, so we go to the consultation and we do exactly what, I'm not on the screen, I don't think. We do exactly what we were taught in the IOS course, and that is to take pictures, measurements, all of those things. And if sometimes even in a vacant property, we're asked to specify like fixtures or anything, hardware. So we that's included, and we take pictures of those areas where we might need to add those things in. Certainly paint colors, floor colors, things of that sort. So and And sometimes we begin working with the builder prior to the actual viewing of the home. We'll work with him first, and then we'll give him some of these things before we actually see the property. So then the next thing we do is we come back and we do exactly what we've been taught to do, and we download the pictures, and then we create a consultation report. We have our own proprietary software for that, which makes it a little easier, but we're very detailed about that, exactly how many pieces of furniture we're going to bring in and what they are. Like the living room will be a sofa, a love seat, and everything is with accessories, with pillows. So the seller knows exactly what he's getting, whether he's a builder or if it's a vacant home that's the owner's moved out. So once we do that, then we begin pulling together after we have the signed agreement anyway. That's the first step. We can't really start working on inventory until then. And then we go to our inventory software, which we are using Darby now, and then we begin to pull together the project in terms of the actual real furniture, how many pieces of art, and that sort of thing. And once that's done, then we begin, we bring that list to the warehouse, and we go through the warehouse, and we work closely with Anthony. Anthony is our warehouse manager. And we walk around the warehouse together looking for the pieces to be absolutely sure we have them. And then once that's done and we know we have the inventory in the warehouse, then we will begin to pull the smaller things, the art, the pillows, the accessories for the dining room table, whatever it might be. We pull all that together. And one thing that makes it easier for us is our warehouse is organized into sections: furniture, art, lamps, so we know exactly where to go to get each thing. And we're also blessed that we have a color-coded system. So my color is orange, and Maggie's color is green. So we have a different color for every single team leader, so we never get our products and things mixed up, which I think could happen with 4 team leaders, and with multiple projects going on at the same time. We still have that same continuity, and we're able to do that.
So when you say your color's orange, you mean like that you have tags or
yeah,
things that you tag the furniture. So she doesn't pick all the orange inventory. It's the tags are orange. So her color, I just wanted to clarify that.
Oh, that's a good
She
point.
only stages with orange ever, right?
Yeah, I'm the only color I can use, the only accent color I have. No, we have tags, we have tape, we have sleeves with the orange color on them, and they all have the room name or the number or whatever it is that we need. So yeah, so that really helps. And we also have multiple bays in the warehouse, and so we put our tape on the bay with our address and our delivery date. So I'm not saying we never make a mistake, but it sure helps not to make one.
Yeah, the organization level that you have, and I've been to their warehouse. I haven't been to it since it expanded the last time, so I would definitely love to come back, and we'll have to make that happen.
Anytime.
But those of you that are in the area or haven't seen a functioning warehouse that's really well organized, theirs is a great example of. I mean, I love that it's organized by section. The color coding system is something that I've utilized here with people that you tag things so things don't get mixed up. You talk about the consultation for the initial. So are you guys paid for that? Because typically it'll be like a preview, and that's just going over quickly to a property, taking pictures and getting a proposal together. But what you guys are doing is seems more extensive. So are you paid for that?
If we have to do the kinds of specifications that I talked about, yes, we are. If it is, as you say, just a preview and we don't have to do anything but just go in and take the pictures and produce the consultation report, then no, we don't charge for that.
So they walked us through. The phone call comes in. They assess the property. I mean, they may give recommendations that they're paid for specifications for flooring, fixtures, paint colors, and so forth. Then it's planning the inventory and then pulling the inventory, tagging it. So at this point, how many hours are we approximately into?
Depends on the size of the property. I can spend as much as 8 to 12 hours on pulling for a large property. If we're doing the entire house and it's a big, large home, then yes, we can spend at least that long. And sometimes in the midst of that, I will also have help. I'll have someone to pack for me, for instance, or I'll have someone to help me actually pull the products. So that's double,
Right.
and it makes it's not an inexpensive process if you
Right.
do it
And
well,
it's
and you
and it's
have
time
the
consuming.
very time consuming, and we pay by the hour, obviously. So it's difficult sometimes when you think about how much. I try not to think about it because I want to spend the time I need for each project. I want to honor every client as much as I can. So I try not to think about it, but sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, how
Yeah.
long have I spent? So
Well,
yeah.
yeah, and this is the part that the public, up till now, they really don't see this part. They don't see
Right.
the preliminary screening of the client and the plan being pulled together. And this is something
Mm-hmm.
that would like to bring to the public. And we were kind of talking about maybe doing a show. So we have some things behind the scenes with IHOSP that we're sort of talking about, because I would love to be able to
Mm-hmm.
show like a week in the life of a staging company,
Mm-hmm.
and follow the process so people really get an idea that it is
Sure.
rewarding, and what we do, we make a big difference in the real estate industry as far as how the properties show
Mm-hmm.
and sell. But the
Mm-hmm. Right.
perception is that it just magically comes together, and they don't see all the hours that go in, even
Right.
planning out the pricing of it and so forth. And then it's also for the public to know when a project is priced a certain way, you know, well, why are you charging so much? You're only going to be at the house 2 hours. I remember one time a client watched, she spied from
Mm-hmm.
down the street, and she messaged me after. She goes, "You were only there for 2 hours." I said, "Yeah, but there was 5 of us on site. So that's like 10 man hours." I said, "Plus you didn't see all the preliminary stuff that went in." But I said, "Were you spying on me from down the street?" So they don't quite get it. Right. So
Yeah.
let's talk about then the things are pulled and tagged. They get loaded onto the trucks. And
Mm-hmm.
then how many people do you have on site running, actually doing the staging?
Well, we have a warehouse manager, and we have how many more guys do we have?
So
Go ahead and take this.
depending on size of the property, actually regardless of the size of the property, we try to finish the staging in one day. So we've done 10,000 square foot occupied homes. Then we are assigning a lot of people because we are moving things around. So yeah, depending on the size of the property, but generally, let's say we are doing vacant properties, main level rooms, and the master suite. Two guys, maybe three, depending on the how heavy the furniture is, and then the team leader and staging assistant. So normally 4 or 5 team is what we do to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so again, people think, I like staging with other people. I don't necessarily like being by myself
Yeah.
when I go out because it's more
Yeah. Me
fun,
too.
but it also helps you
Yeah.
go faster, makes you more efficient. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure about how something's coming together, I can say, "Hey, come over here and take a look at this." We
Yeah.
can kind of, give feedback, ideas, either says, "Oh, maybe
Mm-hmm.
make a slight adjustment." All of a sudden it's like, "Okay, that looks great."
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's 4 or 5 people on site. But there are how many people from the start to the finish? I don't know if you can answer this just off the top of your head, but touch that project from the time the call comes in to the
Mm-hmm.
time it's picked up. How many
Yeah.
Yeah.
people are,
Yeah.
are involved?
Yeah.
The
So on the staging day itself, that is, let's say 4 people. And before that, we are talking about, 2 people pulling for project. And in the office side, we have, let's say 1 person. So that's what,
Seven.
7 people right now. And at once we stage, and then we are coming back to the warehouse, putting all the containers away, and then we are reconciling our inventory. So that's another 1 person. I'm just going to go by the person hour. And that's about it for not about it. That's about 8 people for staging part of it, and we are not even talking about destaging now.
Right.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so eight
Mm-hmm.
person working on a single project.
Right. And then the
At an
D-stage,
hourly
you'd
rate.
have whoever goes to have to pack everything up. So you got your movers again. So that'd be at least another, 3 to 4 people. And then
Right,
having to
At
get it
least.
back to the warehouse and then put it back where it belongs, right,
right,
onto
Mm-hmm.
the shelves and
Exactly.
get it organized. So that's 12. There could be like 14, 15 people
Mm-hmm.
touching that project from start to finish. And
right,
Yep.
these are the things that the public they don't know.
I have no
They
idea.
don't know. And
exactly.
I don't, I know it's like when people don't know, we don't tell them. So it could be, I actually have the fast track. It's the 16 steps that I broke out for doing a vacant, the from start to finish, the vacant staging project planner. But in that, I don't even talk about the number of people that could possibly touch a project. And so each one of those people are paid, right?
Yes, they are.
There, so
Yeah.
that project
Nobody's
revenue, when
free.
people go, well, I mean, because there's so many people here even, well, I thought it'd be $500 for the staging, and it's, living, kitchen, family room, bedroom, loft. And I'm thinking like, well, in my head, I'm like, how did you even think it would only be $500? Because the
Yeah.
perception is maybe they think I just whip stuff out of my house. I just happen to have like a garage crammed full of stuff that I just want to put in people's houses for free. And I don't pay the labor to get it there. They're not really thinking of
Hmm.
the costs associated with running a project. And so I think being able to educate the public better would be great. And I really believe being able to film um, a staging business, being able to show that process would be incredibly valuable
Well,
because,
Right.
Jenny, we've been toying with the idea of having one of those time lapse kinds
yeah,
of videos made of start to finish. And I think we really need to do that. We've talked about it for several years now and still haven't actually done it. But I think that would help a lot. I think people
yeah.
would really be surprised at how hard the work is and how much goes into it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
The realtors who used to work with a furniture rental company, let's say they're staging their own listings, or homeowners who are thinking about renting furniture for, staging their own house.
Right.
And when they see our proposal, because, rental companies, they're only showing the the monthly rental and delivery and pickup fees. But when they see our proposal, there's a staging service fee component of it, and they ask, well, what is that? And so we give them a list of all the things that we just mentioned, and then they understand what is going into a staging project. So
We
once we
do have a
provide that,
list.
yeah, once we provide that, the people understand how hard this staging business
Well,
project is.
That's very smart because I don't think most companies are doing that. So it's all about educating the client. So because they want to know why does it cost this much or why am I paying this? And the rental companies that are out there, they have waged employees. So they're not showing the time that they have to put towards paying the drivers or whoever's the customer service person who's working with the client. That costs them money as well. So and I don't know how they run their businesses if they fold that into the price of the rental, but their goal is to rent their furniture. They don't really care if a house sells. They want their product moving out into properties. And so our focus is different. We do want the properties to sell. That's why we do what we
Absolutely.
do. But I think that's very smart. So I don't know if you guys caught that they are actually spelling out for some of their clients that are asking about this, all the steps that are involved in the process as far as that staging service fee, which is a non-recurring staging investment,
Yeah.
and letting them know exactly the parts that go into it. So you're always so smart. You guys are little thinkers.
That's him. It's not me.
So
Yeah.
what systems do you have in place? So you talked about Darby for inventory, and then you have your consultation software that you've put together that helps kind of streamline that process. So are there any other um, applications or processes that you have that you'd be willing to share to help you guys run things more smoothly?
Yeah. Well, I would say it's kind of funny to call our team as a system, but
It is a
our team is a system, and we are so proud to have received the Best Team Award at the conference, and we invest a lot in our team members. So definitely, and we saw our business grow from 2011. I think when we started hiring additional team leader to duplicate Trish, and that's when we saw our business actually growing exponentially. So team is definitely a system. And we are using, I'm just going to go through. So we use everything to Google software platform. So everything is unified in there, all the calendar, email, Google Drive, and everything. So all of our team members share what's going on in the company. And then you talked about our software that we developed. We use QuickBooks. We use T-Sheets for time sheet tracking system, which is integrated to QuickBooks. We have a Darby system. Trish talked about the tagging system and color coding, and all these things we developed or incorporated one at a time as business grew. But the things that we are talking about, you don't have to wait until you have a warehouse.
Right.
You have to wait until you have 3 team members, even if you're just getting started out. You need to do it, organize your business, and that'll be a good foundation to take your business to the next level.
Once the practices are in place, they will grow with you. So to start at the basic moment, I think is a great idea. Yeah.
I agree.
Start as soon as you can.
Yeah, I think put them in place now, and then have them grow with your business before, or before your business gets out of control. You're like, gosh, I need a system, and then you're kind of scrambling. So when you put it in place now, because we use Google as well, although I just realized that when they did the upgrade, all of the calendar dates that are more than a year old are gone off my phone, which you can still find in their archive. If you go to the computer side, you can still find all of your appointments, but I rely on those because I can go back and look. I wanted to look like a year ago what we were doing, and I'm like, what happened to all my appointments? So but that is something that can be shared with all your team members. They know where they have to be or what's happening for the schedule. And again, the archive of the dates, you can find them online. But I love that. That helps you keep very organized. The inventory system, how long did it take you just to implement that, just to get that in place, to identify all of your, because you didn't do it from the beginning. You put that in place like 2 years ago?
No,
Darby?
it was 2011 when we started using My Darby.
Oh, okay.
It was like we had a team member who came from another staging company, and they were using Darby system, and she came and she started implementing our pieces, and then 6 months later she left.
So she came just for that.
Yeah, I think she's a Darby angel, and but like it doesn't matter which inventory control system that you
That's
use.
right.
It is always the inputting the new items, keeping track of movement of one item from one staging to back to the warehouse and to another staging. That is that you have to do that. So you have to just keep up with it. When we started, I think we probably had about about 1,000 pieces that we entered. Right now, you have about 4,000 items that we are keeping track of.
Wow.
So it took about maybe 2-3 months to enter about 1,000 pieces in there back in 5 years ago.
Yeah, but I think we didn't enter everything, and maybe we should have at the beginning, but we still already had so much stuff, small stuff, that we didn't do that. So our small things like our art and tchotchkes of any sort, lamps are not in the inventory. It's just the big things. So bedding, things like that.
Yeah. So I mean, all the big pieces you want to start putting in, but even some of the artwork, like the people that created Darby, they're here in the Denver area, so they had all their artwork was numbered on the back, and then it's in the system, and they knew the pricing and so forth for it. So they have they start with piece 1, and then if you have 500 pieces, you have this whole thing. But the best advice that they're giving, and what I'm going to say too, is start now. When you have inventory, have a system that can support you now, that you can build into, because having to go back and put in 5,000 things or whatever, it's just a very long process, and can be a stumbling block for people to actually implement a system. So I know that they didn't exist when we first got started. These systems,
that's right.
They weren't around. So we are actually out of time. I can't believe it. It goes so fast. So I appreciate you guys being on with me and all of us, and sharing your wisdom. And we'll have to have you on again, because I could ask you any number of topics. I know you guys are just a wealth of knowledge and experience, and I love that you guys are always willing to share. And I love seeing you. I wish I'd been able to have more time with you at the conference. So the plan for Nashville is to hopefully facilitate some of that, so that I'm not just running.
You were running the show, Jenny.
Yeah,
it was going to be kind of hard for you to talk to everybody.
It was a great conference.
It was one of the best. Yeah. It was the best we've ever had. So each year gets better.
Yeah, it was fun. So, all right. Well, if we have any questions, people can write questions to us. they, be able to get in touch with Young and Trish. Again, they're in the DC area. They have a fabulous business there. You've really helped put that whole market on the map as far as staging, and they do fabulous work.
Thank you.
And I love that you're a team as well, husband and wife team. So
We
there's
wouldn't be
actually an
where we are without
HGTV
Trish.
show, and I should send him your information. He's going to be doing Skype calls, so it's Crybaby Media, but he was looking for people who have teams, like either husband and wife or mother-daughter or twins or something. So I'm going to send you his info, and you can maybe talk to him tomorrow if that works for you.
Sure.
Right, sure.
Okay, perfect. So just, I thought he'd be
Excellent.
great. It'd be great to have you. And I don't know what the show's about. They're featuring staging companies doing something, but who knows?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So thanks, you guys. Thanks for being on. We'll say goodbye to Trish and Young. You guys have a safe trip home. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you.
And so next week we're going to have Classic Home will be our guest, and then we're going to have Mary Scally on, and Mary's going to talk about her business and how she has grown and implemented systems and so forth so that her business can run without her, which is super important. And we are going to be hopefully auctioning the conference, and that's always a fabulous trip. And so I'll be putting information out on that this week before the show. And so those of you that want to go to Cape Cod, the trip will be in May this year, so end of May versus September. And you'll have opportunity to be there with 11 of your closest colleagues and friends, or not even the closest, just colleagues and friends you can get to know and get close. And it's a wonderful time to just get to know each other and chat and have fun. And so that'll be raffled or auctioned off next week on the show. And the fundraiser, it will be for the foundation. So be ready for that. And we're going to be looking for, Mary's obviously one of the people. So 11 other people that want to join that trip to Cape Cod in May. And she has a beautiful home. You go to Nantucket, you go shopping, have meals together, and just a lot of fun in the house in the evenings, talking and learning. And, it's just a great time. So get ready for that. And so next week, again, Classic Home and Mary Scally and the Cape Cod live auction trip. So thanks everybody for joining in. I will be back with you next week, Home Staging Talk Show Live, which is an ongoing conversation within the staging community. So please share this segment, get involved. If you want to be a guest on the show, or you have particular topics you'd like to learn about, simply message me here on Home Staging Talk Show, or you can email me at Jennie, JENNIE, at IAHSP.com. Thanks everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.